Hello everybody, welcome to MJX Movies. Today I'll be yakking the film Wrath of Man from 2021, directed by Ritchie, also written by. This is based on a French film by the name of Cash Truck, or Le Convoyeur, if you prefer. In this movie, we open with an armored car heist that goes awry. The guards are murdered, and as well as civilian, albeit off-screen. We then smash cut to the present day, or seemingly the present day, where a mysterious gentleman is attempting to gain employment at the same armored truck company. He does. He's given the nickname H. He's trained by Bullet, who he befriends. They form an armored truck crew of sorts with Boy Sweat Dave. Their truck is hit not once but twice, and in both cases, H seemingly thwarts both of the attempts on their car. Turns out that H is in fact a notorious crime boss, and his son was the civilian that was murdered in the armored truck heist that went awry at the beginning of the movie. That heist was carried out by a rogue bank robbing crew consisting of former U.S. military who are, as one would suspect, disgruntled. They've got one big score, though, in mind, the armored truck car depot. So they launch that score. Along the way, H gets roped in. It turns out Bullet was, in fact, the inside man. But H, being there and wanting to carry out vengeance on the members of the people responsible for his son's death, does so. Most of the people die, including also many of the armored truck guards that we got to know. But the lead baddie escapes. H is gunned down, or so we think, but it turns out he's really just, they were flesh wounds. He's just got a bit of a limp. He shows up at the apartment of the final remaining baddie who's got all the money. He executes him because he was the trigger man on his son. And then he goes off into the sunset, vengeance having been more or less completed. So, this movie stars quite a few people. We've got Jason Statham as H. We've got as Bullet, Hope McElhaney. In the bank crew, we've got notably Jeffrey Donovan and Scott Eastwood. We've also got Eddie Marsan in there and Josh Hartnett in there somewhere as some bank armored truck car employees. We've also got some cameos from Post Malone, Andy Garcia, and one other person who's escaping me. And then, of course, there's many character actors that I was not familiar with part of this movie. So, this movie, let me say that if the movie was as good as the score, this would have been a much better movie. The score for this is fantastic. It's done by Christopher Benstead. It's got a really big, ominous, foreboding score to it that I enjoyed. I thought it really added to the movie. Although it made me think that there was always more coming, and there never was. This movie is very thin insofar as plot. I think had this been written with a little bit more depth, it would have gone a lot further. Would have been a lot better. I'm going to note here that at the beginning of the movie, when we're initially introduced to the armored truck car company, there is language / an ambiance and aura that if anybody wants to become familiar with, what's locker room banter was, 15, 20 years ago or however long ago, this is a great example of the retrograde type of language that was quite common and quite permitted in that sort of environment. I will also say that, Josh Hartnett in this one, it was on the comeback trail. He had not yet achieved trap fame, but as Boy Sweat Dave, he's really giving his best. I would say for me, if Den of Thieves is Heat Light, then this is probably Den of Thieves Light. I would say overall for me, between yay, nay, and in between, this one's probably a nay. I don't think it's really essential to the heist canon. If you're a big Jason Statham fan or Guy Ritchie fan, perhaps. But I even think in those cases, there's better heist movie to be watched by either of them. You know what though? Maybe you're a big fan of generic replacement logos that are meant to stand in for real world companies, in which case this might be a big yay for you. Let me know what you guys think though. Comment down below, like and subscribe. Cheers.